Hey guys, this is your fearless fly girl, Crystal Marie, and welcome to another episode of Fear Doesn't Go With My Outfit. I'm so glad you guys are tuning in. If you're watching me on YouTube or you're tuning in through my website, thecrystalmarie.com, or you are listening to me on SoundCloud. However you're listening to me, thank you so much for just watching the journey of my podcast, and I'm so excited. I think this is episode 3, guys. This is amazing. So, I be excited about all my episodes, but I'm really excited about this one. First of all, because it's my girlfriend who we don't see each other often, but we connect like spiritually. It's crazy.
Yes.
So we, as soon as we kind of see each other, it's like we never missed a beat. But we're in the same city. It's just both of us, we have unique lives
Yes,
and unique
we do.
schedules. So I am going to let her introduce herself. But this is my girlfriend, guys, Cynthia Jackson. Hi, Cynthia.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey.
I really want to appreciate you for inviting me to do this. Like, this is like so big and powerful. So I love you for doing the work that you're doing.
Oh, I appreciate
so that you may be a platform for me.
Yes, yes. Because the story we are about to get into, guys, the episode, episode 3, it's called Fear Doesn't Go With My Passion. So we're going to get into it, guys. We have I always keep a box of Kleenex right in the center because it might get, for me, for her, for you. So, guys, I love transparency, real. We're not fluff here. You might hear a cuss word or two. It's all good, okay? It's all good because we telling the truth. And we're basically telling fear where to go and how to get there. Kicking fear in the balls and living our best lives, okay? So here we go. So Cynthia.
Yes.
So me and Cynthia met, I can't even remember the year.
It had to be in 2004.
2004, 2005, maybe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 4.
Okay.
Maybe in the middle of...
Maybe
the end
of 4.
Yeah.
Maybe at the end of 04. Okay, because I graduated in 04.
I did too. That's what I'm saying. We met around that time.
Okay, so it had to be the end because it was cold.
Correct.
It was cold. So we met in what? MCAT class?
No, we had a mutual friend.
Yes,
so
we had a mutual my line sister.
Right, was a mutual friend.
Yes.
And she both knew that we were had passion for going to medical school. So we thought.
So we thought. So can
at
you
those
believe
tender
guys?
ages.
Yes, at those tender ages of we trying to figure out what we want to be when we grow up.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we together went to the MCAT class. It was a 7-month journey.
It was 7 months.
I will never forget that.
Yes, that class was, oh God. It was 7, first of all, it was expensive.
Yes.
It was a 7-month class.
Mm-hmm.
We met through a connection.
Mm-hmm.
And we hit it off. Like, we hit it off.
And we went to this class every week. Together.
Every week. Together.
One of us would drive every week.
Yeah. You would either come pick me up from our apartment downtown Detroit.
Yes.
Or either or we would drive.
Exactly.
Because it was downtown.
Yeah, it was like near where you live. So I always drove mostly, and then you would drive your car. Sometimes I'd leave my car at your place.
It was like 10 minutes. Okay. It was like 10 minutes away. Oh my God. Can you believe? I wanted to be a doctor, guys. Can you believe that? Pediatrician, specifically.
Yep, and I wanted to be an OBGYN.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We were going to do that.
We were going to do that. We was taking this class. What? It was like 7 to 9, 6 to 10 or something like that? 7 to 10?
6 to 9.
Yeah.
It was like 3 or 4 hours.
It was 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So that journey, and we would listen to music on the way there. We listened to 3.
We love music. That was another thing. We shared the music in common. We went to concerts. We really became good friends.
I'm telling you. It was like, we went, I met your family.
Absolutely.
Because, listen, her family know how to party. They always had a party, and it's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they celebrated everything. Which is what I love, because it reminded me of, like, how my family, it's like celebrating and just, sisters and just seeing that whole vibe. So I
and
love
I met
that.
your family as well.
Yep.
Like, I'm telling you, we've done a lot together.
We've done a lot together. Oh my, I'm so excited right now because we get to reminisce about it. So we done a lot together. Okay, so we were up 7 months, and then what? We set for the MCAT, and that was like.
That was like April of 2005.
2005, and God, that was like all day.
It was all day. It was an 8-hour situation.
I remember we were exhausted.
We were, because we had practice exams, remember, 4 weeks prior, so every Saturday in April, we were taking this 8-hour long exam.
We was taking an 8-hour, so that was our whole weekend. We did that for a month, maybe month and a half, depending on no life. We didn't have no, okay? We had no life. And I'm just like, I look back like, who was that girl?
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Like, who was I? So, anywho, so we took the test. I can say for me, it was not pretty.
No.
I don't even remember my score. It was so bad.
Well, here's the thing for me, and I'll get into, this conversation and why I'm here. I had some transformational things happen before we actually took the test.
Yeah, let's talk about
which
it.
led me to become a birth worker. So I started out as a doula. I remember I took doula's training the weekend after.
The weekend after the MCAT.
I took the MCAT, but after that training class, in my mind, I knew that I had found something that was for me to pursue.
I love it.
And in that moment, I thought, I don't care what those MCAT scores are.
Guys.
Because I don't need them anymore. I'm not pursuing that road anymore. And I remember I was about 23 or so when that was happening. Probably going on 24. I'm not real sure.
Yeah, we was around there.
And I remember I cried because I spent my entire life
trying to
becoming a doctor. In my mind, there was no plan B.
And that was the thing. That's all you talk about. What do you want to be with a doctor? And for me, I think I got to that point. I had to realize for me, I think I was saying it. I was so used to saying it because it sounded good. Exactly. I was so used to saying it, and then I was always being compared by my aunt, because she was an OBGYN.
Okay.
She had her own practice. Yeah. Everybody always like, you're going to be Cheryl. Everybody called me Cheryl. They could never remember Crystal Marie at all. Okay. But they always,
they know it now.
Right, listen. Okay? But it was like, and I loved, like, aspiring to be like her. She's a great woman, So, and she would help me. She paid for my class.
Right, I remember
that. She
that.
paid for my MCAT class. So
that.
It was like that whole disappointing. But I think I knew when I graduated in 2004 with the degree that I was like, I'm just trying to graduate at this point, and I'm not starting over. I'm just trying to get through it.
I had that same experience.
Yeah, and then okay, am I supposed to go back to school, the GMAT, okay, the MCAT? Like, so I think I was just at that point for me where it was like, okay, I'm just used to saying it. However, so I love, because I remember you called me and was like, I'm taking this training. I remember that. I was like, okay, I didn't know, like, what it was at that point or whatever.
I didn't either.
How did you find the training?
So I'm actually into, like, women's health, spiritual awareness, healing, things like that. So there was a magazine out years ago that used to be called Phenomenal News.
Yes.
And my mother would place this Phenomenal News on my bed every time she would see a new one, which was great. And I was like, oh, here's one. And it sat on my bed for weeks before I even opened it up. And back then it had a classified ad.
Yeah.
Or there was a classified section.
Yeah.
And in that classified section talked about, do you want to help women in childbirth? It just talked about, like, being a doula, and I'm thinking, this doesn't say being a doctor. Like, I didn't even know this existed, and I thought it was fake at first. Because you couldn't believe all the classified ads.
And that's what I'm saying. Because I would pick one up when I was in the spiritual healing stores and psychic stuff.
And so I called the number, and the lady picked up. It was actually my dear friend today, Patty Brennan, who did my training in Ann Arbor. And she says, yes, we do training here. It's next weekend. And I'm like, oh, how much is this class? And she told me, back then, it was $350. I said,
and you had it. Listen.
No, I didn't. I said, can I call you back? Because I got to ask my mom if I can borrow this money.
Listen.
She said, okay. And I literally ran. I will never forget. I was living in our old house on Nottingham. I ran up the stairs, and I'm like, Mom, I got to go to this doula's training class because I think this is going to help me. I was like, but it costs $350. And I remember her looking up at me, and she goes, okay. She didn't bat an eye.
I
She
love
didn't say,
it.
are you crazy? Nothing
Look
like that.
at God.
But I will tell you, this is why my mom is literally the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, I know she birthed me and everything and raised me, but she's the best thing that happened to me because she allowed me, you know, I talked about this yesterday to somebody. She allowed me space to be who I was. Even though I was different from her and I had a different drive, I had determination. I was definitely passionate about a lot of things, but it wasn't who she was, but she never made me feel bad about who I was.
Girl, I'm listening. I can't scream in this
Go,
mic.
Mama.
Go, Mama. Do you hear me?
So I love my mother for that.
That was my mom.
I'm forever indebted to her for that.
It was just like she didn't understand it.
Exactly.
But she always supported. She was like, okay, now you trying? Okay. What's next? Okay. Okay. Interior designer? Okay.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It was always something. She just let me be. And she told me, she was like, I admire the fact that you just do what you want to do.
Exactly.
Like, you live fearlessly.
Yep.
Which, you know, inspired the brand.
For sure.
But she was just like, the same way. The same way. Because your mom could have been like, okay, we just paid for this M-class, this test. That test was, I can't even remember, expensive.
Child, we must have paid in the upwards of $2,000 plus.
That dang on test was expensive. And then here you go asking her for more.
Right, more money. Because I had just literally, anyway, it all worked out. And I'm very glad it did. But that training class opened the doors to me becoming a midwife.
I love it.
And I had no idea what midwife was. I never
heard of it. Wait. So before we get to midwife, so tell me about, so you did the training, you took the training, then how did you start getting, like, working as a doula? And let's explain doula a little bit.
Okay, so doula is a labor, I used to call myself a labor coach back then because nobody knew what a doula was. And so I figured I better come up with a different name that people can understand. So we provide emotional, physical, and educational support to pregnant moms and families. And we support them through their pregnancies, through the childbirth experience, and postpartum.
My friends are awesome. Okay.
So I started there because I knew that I wanted to help women in that part of it. So I was like, oh yeah, I could be a doula, but there was still something about that I knew that I would not do it long term.
Okay, because it was a bigger picture for you. Yeah.
It was, because I was introduced to that word, midwife.
So who introduced that word? Where were you? Were you
the training class?
Okay, so they were talking about
that
further.
Patty Brennan was a retired home birth midwife.
I love it.
And I was like, what? And in my mind, I never forget, I'm thinking, that sounds really crazy. I don't know that I would do that. And I was like, and I remember asking the young lady next to me, how else can I be a midwife? Is there another way you can work? She says, yes, they have them in the hospital. I said, great, I'll do that. Still didn't do that.
I love it. Listen, no, I love it. I'm loving the journey. I'm loving the process. Okay. Yeah. So Patty introduced you. The class was great.
Right. And then I ended up doing the doula work. So in my first year, I worked in what's called Doula's Care. It was a volunteer doula program that serviced women and families all over Metro Detroit area.
Nice.
So that's what I did, about 30 births that first year that I was a doula. I loved it.
So you were starting off volunteering again. Oh, yeah. So you're in your passion. Do you guys hear? Because, you know, when we're working our passion, we're like, I can do this all day for free.
And I was.
Right. But now,
no.
Listen, and we're going to get to that, honey. Listen. We look at the coins.
Hello.
Okay. So, again, we both started off like, okay, this is what I want to do. We're loving it.
Yeah.
So, you did 30 births. Was it always a side of midwife, or was it like in the hospital?
It was all hospital births.
Okay.
So we would pretty much meet the moms maybe a few times in their pregnancy just to talk about what they wanted, like birth plan, if there's any just issues in their pregnancies that we can maybe make suggestions on.
Right.
You know, making sure they're going to their doctors, things like that. Because we were working with, high risk patients, if you will, and low-income situations, and
so you out here
providing resources, and all the things.
Yeah.
And I was new to the whole situation as well, because I had been gone from Detroit for 5 years.
5 years, exactly. So we both were coming back.
HBCUs.
HBCUs.
Hello. Tennessee State.
Yes. Virginia Union. So yes, we have both just kind of came back home. So
I was trying to get my footing as well, and I enjoyed it though while I was doing it, because I was still young. Everybody was definitely asking me, how old are you doing this work? And I'm like, oh, I'm just 24.
Right.
Oh, it was craziness.
I
still get that today.
Right.
How old are you?
Oh, if I hear, I'm like, if I hear that one more time.
I know.
But that means that we keeping this moisturizer good on our face, okay?
See, I'm going to always be young.
Listen, okay? Listen, our work keeps us young,
Yeah.
okay? So you were doing, started off doing free service, and you're really understanding the whole process, the long hours, the education, the moms really understanding, because again, we don't have kids, we're single, we didn't have kids.
I didn't.
Single, not really just from what we read.
Yep.
Or from what,
and then, but I was experiencing what was going on in the hospital.
Yes.
I was understanding the dynamics.
Yeah.
I was understanding the business side of what had to happen. And
which is important. Yeah.
I didn't always like it.
Right.
But I didn't know how to change it back then.
Right. And again, you're seeing what you're going to put up with, what you like, and what you don't like.
Exactly.
So you're going through this process. So how did you get into, doula, you're doing that. Then, I can't remember at this point, did you get into midwifery or did you?
There's a break, actually.
Okay, let's talk about the break.
The break is that I needed money. And I was going to be turning 25, and I'm like, I need to get out of my mama house,
right? Yeah.
And which means I need to work a job or something. So I hooked up with another girlfriend of mine that I had, and she hooked me up with a job at Chase. And so I worked at Chase for maybe 5 years or so, and I did.
Was it that long? Okay.
Yeah, I did like consumer banking, sales banking, online banking. I did all of those things. And so after that, they laid us off.
Okay.
And in that moment, but we had a long time to know that we were getting laid off. It was about 9 months preparation. And during that time, I did some real soul searching. I decided that I was going to become a childbirth educator, which I did, and that I was going to pursue doula work again, but I was going to be a professional independent doula and get paid for services.
Yeah.
So I launched my website to do that.
Yes.
And I also had said, on my website and in all the Facebook and all that.
Say the website for the people, honey, so they can go there while they listen.
It
Log in,
people. www.sacredrosebirthingservices.com.
Yes.
So what I did was I launched everything, and I decided that I was going to put it out there that I wanted to be a midwife. I did not even know how that would happen. I just said that's my goal one day. So in my mind, I was going to do the doula work, and that was going to set me up to become a midwife, but I still had no idea how I was going to do it. But I had decided at that point that I would be a home birth midwife, and I would not do hospital birth as a midwife. So that was new for me. But I just trusted that was a good idea.
I love it. Do you hear, guys? Okay, so you launched the website,
And I was getting clients that first year. And I'm telling you, I had no job. I had to move in with my brother.
Hey, bro. Hey, I remember.
And thank God for my brother, too.
Listen, hey, brother. Hey, I remember. He's so funny.
Yeah.
Shout out to the brother. He's crazy.
Right.
Yes.
So I moved in with him, and then I literally didn't really have like a year's plan. I didn't have anything planned out really. And I remember putting on Facebook that I was interested in becoming a midwife. And I was friends with I was friends with a lot of different midwives because I had gone to a Michigan Midwives Association conference.
I remember that.
And so
that
was, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll meet some people here. Well, then I had no idea that I would, maybe get an apprenticeship out of that. So what ended up happening is 3 midwives contacted me after I said that I wanted to really be a midwife.
So wait, pause. So you said you put it out there, and shout out to the presence of social media, because it's like you ask and you shall receive. Don't F fear, okay?
Yes.
And just be like, you ask. So did you make it like your status, or?
Yeah, it was just like, I want to be a midwife, but I'm doing my doula work. This is my website and that kind of thing.
I think that
I
remember when
people
you
read over
it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
people read over
so
and people were so excited about this new journey for me.
Yeah.
And I don't think
because everybody knew you always wanted to deliver them babies.
I did, but I didn't know that this was going to be the way it is now.
Right. And listen.
Yeah, so what ended up happening is one midwife invited me out to her practice to observe her practice. It was about 3 hours away. I actually got up and drove them 3 hours, spent the night at her house, observed, and came on back, and I was thinking,
how was
that?
Wow.
Well, it was physically draining at first because I was like, this is a lot of work. But it did not deter me or make me feel like something I could not do.
It was just new information.
It was new, and I was thinking, I just got to learn this stuff and do this. And I was thinking, would this ever be me?
Right. Because it was
it was very foreign to me.
And again, we were conditioned or trained. We only saw healthcare one way.
Correct.
You know, let's be clear.
Yes.
We only saw healthcare like this way, doctor, hospital, these standards, whatever. So we're getting into like some holistic stuff, which I love. Okay.
Yes.
So
that was the first step, and then I had another midwife who asked me to attend a birth with her. It was just a one-time thing, and I'm like, okay, and the birth was like down the street from my house, and I'm thinking, oh my God, like I could just go to this
you
birth.
See how they do?
So I met the family and everything, and the family enjoyed me, and I attended the birth. That was the end of April 2011.
Yes.
And I literally walked out of that birth.
You were
and
so
thought,
excited.
I'm never turning back. I am going to be a home birth midwife. I knew that from that one birth. I was like, this is it. Why don't people know about this?
You see?
That's what I was thinking in my head. And so later on, I ended up getting an apprenticeship. Well, it was probably around the same time that I attended that first birth.
Now, was it with the lady you attended the birth, or was somebody else?
So it's someone else. So the person who trained me, my preceptor, is actually a different person. That's a third midwife who asked me to come and help her in her practice because she had a student who was on maternity leave.
Okay.
And what I covered the leave.
You was covering for her.
Right. So I did not know that I would have a space in her practice because it was me just covering the leave. What ended up happening is that person chose not to return because of something that was going on with her. And so I ended up having a spot.
So you was having that spot.
I had a spot.
So we're working. We're still not doing the coins, or are we making coins at this part? Well, your
So,
doulas.
Doula work is paying.
Is paying. Your
midwifery,
right? You needed the
as
hours.
a student, you're not getting paid
You
as
need
much.
the hours.
You're getting some compensation, but it is not.
Right.
You can't pay your bills with that. You got to do something else.
Yeah.
So that's why I did the doula work, and I didn't live on my own. I had to move in with a family member to support.
Right, your passion. Let's go.
My passion.
Your passion, right?
Yes,
and so
because I was very passionate about this.
Listen, and the struggle is real. People
It
need
is.
to see that this isn't we just pop up one day foo-foo. No, this been work.
Yeah, and I put in a
work.
lot of work. I went through a lot mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Yeah, but I will tell you, I always had ancestors was on my side. I gotta tell you that.
Yes.
I always had dreams of what it would look like on the other side. That is what kept me.
I love it.
The days that it was hard, it was stressful, I would cry. I would literally have a dream, and a dream would give me confirmation that you're on the right path. You gotta finish this path. And there's there's nothing that can take you away from this. It doesn't matter what they do, how they act, whatever. You are in this. And you're going to do it because you're so passionate about it. This is what you're supposed to do. I had to accept that. And I would say I just really thank God for having those experiences and being open to that. Because that's what I pray for other people, is that they can understand that passion through whatever it is. And be able to move through it and just make it work no matter what. This world is going to be what it's going to be.
It's going to be what it's going to be. Listen.
But you have got to be who you are supposed to be.
I need a collection plate, y'all.
Hello.
Because she just gave a word. That is a word.
Yeah, you have to. And I encourage that a ton. So that's how I got into midwifery.
Okay, so you're working with her, everything. You're seeing home births. You're working on home births.
We're doing everything. We're doing prenatal care for ladies. We're doing births. We're doing postpartum care. I'm experiencing loss. There are people who are having miscarriages. And, there's lots of things that go into me doing birth work that people think, oh, it's just great. You see babies be born. No, there's a whole nother side of this that we have to deal with, women's emotions and all of that. Sometimes you're having good days with the moms, and then there's a day where everybody's having a bad day. And that weighs on you. And so you have to have self-care as a birth professional, as a midwife, as a birth worker, whatever you call yourself.
So let's talk about the schedule. Everything is all about doula and midwifery. You had no life at this point.
None. So at this point, I was doing both at the same time. And so I was doing anywhere from 40 to 60 births a year. Yeah. I still do about 40 births a year.
You still do 40 births.
Which I didn't think I would, but anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I do. But, so I was doing in the upward of 60 births a year.
So in order to be a midwife, you have to, let's talk about the education piece or the
Okay.
hours and stuff that you need, because we're going to get into what happened.
Okay, so I did an apprenticeship style training,
Okay.
which means I joined a midwifery practice, and I pretty much did all of my clinical training under the preceptor, and you do your didactic learning kind of on your own, your book work, your things like that. But you do most of your clinical work with the preceptor that's training you.
And you need like a certain hours, or
You need a certain number of observed births. You need a certain number of where you're an active participant at the birth, and then you need a certain number of primary midwife births under supervision.
Okay.
So you have to complete those paperworks to, have you sit down and be certified for midwifery.
So roughly, how many years, or is
Well, it's
that?
supposed to take 3 to 5 years. That's what the projected.
Okay.
That's what, when I was reading the material, that's what it was supposed to look like.
Projected 3 to 5.
3 to 5, and in my mind, okay, I can do that.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're doing this for,
Oh, yeah.
you was with her for how long? Was it 3 to 5? Was it 4
So
years?
it was at the 4-year mark.
Okay.
I believe, it was the 4-year mark when I had thought that I had completed all of my requirements.
So the key word here is you thought.
I did.
What happened?
So I sat down with the preceptor to go over like all the births and things that I did, and you're supposed to train under somebody who is already a certified midwife, and so I thought that she was. I knew that there was a period of time that she did not have a certification, but what I did not realize as I was sitting there in that moment is that she didn't have her certification the entire time that I was training under her, which means all of my births didn't count, and it was about 120 births.
Oh my God.
Yeah. If not more. I don't know the number exactly, but it's
Cynthia.
between 120 and 140 births.
So you mean to tell me,
Mhm.
so all of that
Mhm.
did not count?
Well, it does. Here's the thing, and I had to learn this on the flip side.
Mhm.
It didn't count on paper at the time,
Okay. Okay.
but it definitely still counted in how I was going to be a midwife later on.
Yes. Yes.
So that's the positive.
That's the
on that.
positive. But
Uh-huh.
again, we had to get to that point.
I know.
So when
and I was not at that
you
point.
was
at the
not
time.
there.
No.
So when you found that out,
Devastation kicked
What?
in big time. I literally just closed up my book and I told her thank you, and I remember walking out of the
did
the
she
office.
feel bad? Like, did she?
We've had some conversations over the years, because it took a lot for me to even get
Sure,
through this
understand,
situation. Because what people don't know is I actually still stayed with her
Yeah.
to complete
to
the
complete.
apprenticeship. I did.
You were still
reach
learning.
out- I
You were
was. I
still-
did reach out to other midwives. There was 2 other midwives that did agree to help me through that. But I would tell you, I stayed with her because deep down inside, I felt like she owed that to me. For me to do more births under her, and she was gracious enough to do that. She wasn't like seriously apologetic about it, but she did apologize, yes. But it wasn't like something that we just went over all the time.
Yeah,
She was
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
oh my God, Cynthia, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
it wasn't anything like that. It was just we understood. She understood that she hurt me, and I made it known to her.
Yeah.
And that was that. And I think because I was, I don't know, more mature about it. And
You was
just-
mature about it and
kept-
moved on.
I kept moving. Like, the clients never knew.
Right. Because we could have stayed there cried,
Oh,
whined.
I cried to she my sister, midwife friend
Yeah.
now. But she was a student in the practice at the same time.
Right,
So
it
my
was both of
girlfriend,
y'all.
my girlfriend Jemana and I, so which means it affected me and another midwife
Sure.
student.
Mm-hmm.
Because now nothing of hers counted either.
Right.
So she decided to go to midwifery school because she was like, F this, I'm not going to be messed up like Cynthia. Like, that's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is we both stayed in the practice, but we chose 2 different paths to get the same
thing, the end goal.
The end goal was to become midwives.
The
So
end goal.
now we're both midwives. Thank God.
I love it. Okay, so you got through that hump because and again, people, are you listening to this story? Your story is so powerful. That's why I was like, Cindy, you have to come on this podcast because because that was a big part. You telling me 100 and something years of practicing what I
100+
love, waiting, being broke for this long.
Yes.
Suffering,
Still
staying with
living
people,
with my
still
brother,
living with-
guys. This is 4 years later.
Still living with family members, just trying to get through it, and you telling me my work don't count.
Yeah. I cried a lot.
I know, but you got through it.
I was
That is
very
the
hurt.
journey.
But I will tell you, back to what I said earlier, those dreams still
kept
visited me at night.
The ancestors. Yeah.
And those dreams were, to me, they felt very real.
I love it.
And I knew they were real.
Yeah.
So I went with that.
Yes.
Because what else did I have to go with?
Listen.
So I went with it.
I love it. Okay, so you continue to work with her and do all of that, and then so you continue to work with her, do all of that, and then you.
So it took me another 2 years to complete the program. So I pretty much did my certification again.
So how did you complete the program with? How did you complete the program with her? So did you join the other midwife to make sure yourself counted?
So there were 3 midwives that kind of helped me to get completed. Okay. So I did the entire apprenticeship again. By the time that I finished it for real this time, I do know that number of births. I had attended about 204 births. So, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but it helped me. I would say, like I said, I didn't like it in doing it in the middle of it, but in the end, it helped me to start my own practice.
Yes.
So that's a whole other thing that is not really talked about. I started my practice actually the last year that I was training to be a midwife, because I was a primary midwife under supervision. And because everybody knew that I was training to be a midwife, and there were people now pregnant, wanting me to be their midwife, and getting word that this black midwife is about to happen.
Because it's like, it's a black midwife.
Hello.
It's like you were like a superhero. Again, because it wasn't.
It's not.
That's
it's not
like,
a lot of midwives of
I
color.
look back like, what do they teach us in school?
I know.
Because I swear I got all my education after.
Right.
We didn't know about black midwives.
No.
We didn't know about this stuff.
So for home birth midwifery, now there are black midwives in the hospital, but for home birth midwifery, there were literally,
it's not a lot of us at all.
It's a handful, and when I say a handful, I do
literally
mean 5 in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, I love it.
That's about it. And so this is today in 2018 or 19, excuse me. But when I was training, this was 2011, 12, 13, 14. Those women weren't practicing. Yeah. It was maybe 2 of them practicing.
And like legit practicing, like for
some
real.
people were doing it underground or whatever, so they weren't like known like that. But anyway, so I was going to be like on the front line of I was my face was going to be out there doing the work.
And it was because during that point you were teaching. I remember I saw something or you had sent me something. You were like teaching classes.
I was.
And I'm like, Cynthia, I want to go. And you was like, girl, this is for pregnant. I'm like, well, I want to see you.
But I was real active in the community.
Yeah.
And so
that's
how I got my other jobs.
Everybody. So I finally met another doula, and I was like, my friend Cynthia, she like I would tell everybody because
you did
referred you.
You did. You know. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Listen, I was because everybody figured they always say, Christy, you know everybody that every crazy thing. And somebody, it was like, do you happen to know a doula? A lot of people don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, girl, yes. And I would, here she is. I will send it right now. So, okay. I just get so excited about it because we watch, guys, we're like so excited about each other because we watched each other start like our dream. Like what we're supposed to be doing. Exactly. She watched me start my event planning company.
Did.
Girl, I
did.
Listen.
And I was so proud. I'm still proud of Crystal. There's nothing Crystal can't do in my eyes. In mine.
Listen, okay?
Crystal gonna do what she wants to do and gonna master it. Okay? That's the thing. You don't have to worry about that. Oh my God.
No.
Sometimes I'm like, girl, I'm following you.
Right, listen.
She'll say the same thing.
Right, and I'm like, no, ma'am, I'm inspired by you. Because we was just like, you know what, screw what y'all talking about. Yeah. These scores don't mean nothing. Society don't mean nothing. We doing what we want to do.
Hello.
I love it. So, okay, so you had already launched Sacred Rose. So you said you started your own practice. Did you start that under Sacred Rose?
I did.
Okay, so it's still all under that.
So it's Sacred Rose Birthing Services because I knew that I would do more than one thing. I would have different branches.
Right.
So the doula piece was already big and heavy.
Doula, midwife, and the education part. Education. You're an educator. Right. You're a teacher.
Doing it all. And then I also became a doula trainer. So I was a community-based doula trainer as well.
She's an expert, guys. Do you see how she just came, conquered, and just...
Yeah.
I love it.
So
we want money coming from every
that's
which
true.
way. We get
So that's how
all the coins.
I don't know if I'm gonna get all the
Listen,
coins.
you are.
But I'm getting the coins that I deserve.
Right, yes, let's say that.
And that's that.
So all of that is under Sacred Rose. So so what are you doing currently? Have you stopped doing doula? Have you stopped? Let's get into that. What are you doing currently? Like,
So
through
currently,
all this journey, you found what you really, really like. What is that piece?
So my ultimate goal was always to become a midwife. I knew that years ago. Now I'm actually more focused on the midwifery piece. So I actually had to give up doulaing. It actually made me cry the other day, but it's my first love. That's why.
Right. That's how it started.
But I will say, home birth midwifery care is becoming more popular, if you will. It is nothing new.
Right.
The work that we're doing is very old.
Right.
But understanding that your birth can happen someplace other than a hospital to some families is a new idea.
Yes.
And so now that I'm here, there's other midwives of color in the Detroit area. We are making a name for us and what we do. We're making home birth midwifery a household name.
Yes.
You know, so everybody didn't have to go to the hospital to have a baby.
Right.
You can have your baby right at home with a professional midwife.
Yes.
That will take care of you.
That will take care of you.
Yeah.
It's so, and I'm seeing it more, you know, a lot of my friends have had home births.
Yes.
And they are, I mean, and they rocking it out.
They
you
are.
hear me?
They are.
And a lot of people I see and more are talking about it.
They are.
You know, some people are like, hey, with the help of my midwife, my husband delivered our child.
Exactly.
I mean, it's becoming this whole, you know, this whole thing, which is brings to a deeper family connection.
Absolutely.
I think. You know what I mean? I think it's appreciated a little bit more. Again, this is just my opinion. Nothing, you know, we're
That's
not saying
a great
nothing
opinion.
about the hospitals, but I think it's a different, deeper type of connection.
True.
Especially within the you know, the Black community. Now I
Absolutely.
know all your you get all types of patients, all colors, all. But I've seen the pictures.
Well, here's the thing. I have serviced lots of different cultures over the years, but I will say, as a Sacred Rose midwife, that's who I am currently. My practice services mostly Black families.
Yes.
So, and that's for two different reasons. A is that I'm a Black midwife, and so they see my face. And two, we still live in a segregated kind of an area, if you will. So I will tell you, some folks aren't knocking down my door trying to hire this Black midwife. If I'm to be real about it.
And
so
then,
some of the more affluent neighborhoods or areas, they're not really asking me to do it. I've really only been able to go to some of their births because I had a white midwife friend that would bring me on, and that's how that would work. Now, I don't have any problems working with any culture, you know, but that's just the reality of what my business looks like.
I love it.
So right now, my practice is 80% Black.
I love it. And then just educating us on it, you know, because, again, we don't know that that's an option because we're not taught.
Yeah.
We think everything that requires health has to be funneled through the hospital.
Correct.
And,
so we do a lot of education. We do nutritional classes with folks. Like we're teaching women about their bodies.
Yes.
We're teaching families about how to eat well.
Yes.
We are teaching families how to build community. There's a lot of things that we are doing that is not just catching a baby.
Right.
We're instrumental in families' lives forever. Like we're literally imprinted.
Yeah, because they're still talking. And guys, okay, so she does this like picnic. Well, it was like the 5th annual last year.
Yes.
She does. Okay, tell me about the picnic because I get so excited when I see the picture.
So the picnic has been happening for 5 years. It was just something that I heard either another doula or midwife, she had done it before, and I was like, oh, that would be cool. And the first year, I never forget, I could count on my, it's probably about 10 people that came out.
That's
about
still
10
a lot.
families. Well, anyway, it was like nice and intimate, and I still loved it. I didn't think anything wrong with it because I'm like, hey, that's my 10 folks. Well, anyway, this 5th year, I draw out about 30 to 40 families every year.
And families, so
huge.
it's like 2, 3, 4, and 5 per family.
Yes.
So, guys, it's like hundreds of people at this picnic that she's just doing to celebrate.
It's getting bigger and bigger. My brother told me at the last picnic, he was like, I think you outgrew the space.
Yes.
I said, I don't think so. I just got to get a couple risers in the back. Because I take a group picture every year. And I just need a couple risers in the back to stand up some of my dads and everything.
And they have the babies there. And it's like, I've delivered, like, oh my God, the baby's 5 now. Just watching them grow. Because the family still,
they are in connection with me.
Yeah, it's still a connection.
Because I also have a Facebook private group of all the moms that I've ever helped.
I love
And so they get a chance to like ask each other questions and be supportive to each other. Because guys, the midwife can't do everything. So that's what I also have as well. And then that's how I tell them that the picnic is coming up. But the picnic is a great way for families to get to know each other outside of social media.
Right.
And maybe
be like, hey, you were in the Facebook group.
And see if they know if
play dates.
Exactly. So that's why I like to do that. And it always warms my heart. Every year, I'm just so overwhelmed with the love that I get there.
Oh my God.
I look forward to it every year.
I look forward for the pictures. I'm like, I'm going to come with no baby, no
You can't. My family comes.
Yep.
Like my aunts were there last year. I was really happy that one of my aunts, she stayed the whole time.
It's such a good time.
Yeah.
And, okay, guys, so let them know your Instagram page.
Okay, so Instagram is Sacred Rose _midwife_doula.
Yes, because, and I'm telling them because she posts.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, she posts like when the baby's coming.
Yeah, birth announcements.
And I be like, I get so excited because sometimes it could be 15 in 1 week.
No, it's not.
Listen, it gets crazy. And she posts them as soon, so it'll be, baby came, it's a boy. I'm like, oh, it's blue, it's a boy. Came at 1:23 a.m. I'm like, girl,
Crystal, you know it all.
I stalks my friends, okay? I support. I'm like, if nobody support, I'm going to be the first one to support. Like, that's my thing. I'm going to be the first one. So, I love the birth announcements. I love the pictures. I love the education that you put on there. I also love the announcements of, like, hey, I'm training here, which I want to see more of that. Cynthia. I want to see more of, like, you, hey, I'm going to be here so I can.
So, this year will be a little, because I'm rebranding. If you will.
Yes.
There will be some new surprises this year that's going to be happening, so please look out for that. And I'm also a part of a midwifery collective. So I'm part of a supportive network of midwives that support each other. We're all women of color. And so we all have our own individual practices. Hello. Black midwife magic.
That's a hashtag. That's a hashtag.
It is.
Midwife magic.
Hello.
I love it. Hashtag. I love it.
So we support each other in our own practices and collectively. So we were actually providing educational support in the community around what does home birth look like? How is this something that I can afford? What is this thing? We've kind of fallen off a little bit just because our busy lives, but we will get back to doing more things. We will be doing more things around the camera and stuff like that.
And
it just takes a lot.
Don't get me started. I'm exhausted, okay? It takes a lot, exactly, to keep and build up your brand and just to really, keep yourself in the camera so people don't,
forget about you.
Right. People don't forget about you. But it's surprising, like I just told you, like, I look out for that stuff. Like, I get excited when I see that. So keep doing, like, people are looking.
Yep.
And I love how when you have a birth, you announce, like, your name and then the other midwife.
Yeah,
I love that.
Because I want people to know who is attending these births in Michigan. That these births are successful. There's a lot of negativity that follows home birth midwives. Like, we are uneducated, we don't know what we're doing, we're incompetent, all those things. Well, I want to combat all of those myths and bad stories because not all of us are like that.
And obviously, you wouldn't have 30 plus families at the picnic every year with babies.
If I was doing something bad.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So, again, and because it's something different. And when people don't understand, I mean, we're seeing it in the culture today.
Yeah.
When people don't understand and it's something different.
Yeah.
They fear of the unknown. You know what I mean? So, I think especially just for our community, I love that you are educating us. Yeah. I love it, Cynthia.
Thank you.
So, tell us, now, again, you're rebranding.
So I do midwifery pretty much full time. So in my own practice, I do 3 to 4 home births a month, and then I also leave the other times where I can help my sister midwife friends. So, like, in this month, there's a lot of babies that's due.
Yeah, first time everybody getting it in.
It's a lot, man. But Jemima and I are covering those births because she has births in her practice. I have some in mine, and so we're going to each other's births. And so we're going to knock them out.
I love it. So, okay, so if somebody, because this is going to be a question, you know, everybody's like, okay, it sounds great, but how much is it?
Oh, I know.
So
right?
if somebody, I know. So if somebody, what roughly are they looking? You know, estimate,
I don't mind sharing my fees.
Well, share it because that's, you know, I'd be like, look, I start at, ain't no secrets. The fee is on the website.
No.
I need people to, you know, you
so
want
the
people
fee,
to know.
my fee is not on the website currently. Like I said, the website currently talks about midwifery and doula.
The education.
Although I'm going to be changing that, it's just not currently changed. So when you go to the website, it will still say the same thing.
Yeah.
But for home birth midwifery care, we do full-on prenatal care. Mm-hmm. We do labor and birth care, immediate postpartum care, and postpartum care.
Okay.
So all of that care you're getting, it's $3,800.
Okay.
But
wow, that's it?
That's it. But I even go lower than that for my lower income families. So I do go off income base. So some family makes less than $80,000 and more than $50,000, and I do a reduced fee of $3,200.
I love that.
And then if a family makes less than $50,000, I will go down to $2,800 for that family.
So you still try to find that point, and again, you're like, I can't service all of y'all.
Correct.
But I do go with my gut and pick and choose who I feel like this.
Well, there's consultations.
Yeah.
So when people do come to me, they can go to the website and send a email. And they can say, you know, hey, I'm interested in the midwife. I'm due on this date. If I do have availability, I will set up a consultation with that family. And if it is a mutual, agreement, with the mom wants to have me on and I want to have them on, then we will start care and set up a payment plan and kind of move forward from there.
I love it.
But
and guys, you know me. I told her to start charging for them consultations.
She did.
But again, it's her business.
I know.
You know. But again,
but I told you, Crystal, I get hired by most of these consultations.
Right, which is good. But again, time, okay?
I rarely have clients that don't hire me from a consultation.
No, and that's what I'm saying. It works for you. So I love that.
It's just unfortunate I have to turn people away because I can only service 4 people in 1 month. That's because I don't currently have an office. I will look to have one probably this year, but I don't currently. So I'm on the road.
Because I was going to say, your office is your car. You on the road.
I do home visits.
I drove a lot. Yeah.
No, I do home visits every week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So $3,800, okay, roughly, and then whatever situation you can, you try to work with people, and I love that.
I try my very best to do that.
I love that. Mm-hmm. So okay, guys, so really quick, Cynthia, say your website again. So it's where you want people to follow you, all of that.
The website is www.sacredrosebirthingservices.com. Mm-hmm. I am on Instagram. That's sacredrose_midwife_doula. Mm-hmm. My Facebook is just a regular Facebook page. Right. Oh no, I do have a business page. You do have a business. Okay, Sacred Rose Birthing Services on Facebook.
Yes. Okay. But her active is like the Instagram.
Right. The active is the Instagram.
The active is the Instagram be popping, and check out her website.
Yep.
Cynthia, thank you so
much.
This was one of my favorite parts. This was powerful. I love it.
I'm so glad you asked me to be here. I was so nervous at first. Goodness gracious.
I told you it'll flow. So guys, you know where to find me. This is your fearless fly girl, Crystal Marie. Definitely continue to follow me at the Crystal Marie brand. Okay, so that's my Instagram. The Crystal Marie brand on Facebook. Some of you guys are in my just regular Crystal Marie page, so thank you for that. And the website, thecrystalmarie.com. And like I always say, have you purchased your merch yet? Fearlessly Fly Store. You know how to get there, so make sure you get your t-shirts, hoodies, buttons, bags, all of that good stuff. So until next time, guys, this is your Fearless Fly Girl, Crystal Marie. Bye.